I came across the suggestion of making silicone nanoparticles from a plastic surgeon, saying that he prescribed silicone to his patients to help with skin regeneration and repair. And he theorizes that a nanoparticle solution of silicone would be much more effective than what's out there now. And it got me thinking about silicone. Believe it or not, you can ingest silicone. It's perfectly healthy for you. And yes, it is good for the skin. You can also apply it to your skin this way. In fact, I've made creams made up of silicone, selenium, copper 0, 1, 2, some zinc, and a tiny bit of silver to make a skin cream. The initial tests on silicone, I didn't see much improvement by taking it, so I didn't actually move the testing beyond a certain point. Then I had a customer saying, I'd like to try silicone. I noticed you got silicone in your Forever Mix. I'd like to try a whole bottle of it. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? So made the 16 ounces and I sent it off to him, and he used it for a month, and then he contacted me and said, well, I'm not so sure about it. I said, I think it helped my skin, but it probably need 90 days of taking it in order to be sure. He didn't seem like he was too impressed with it, and quite honestly, I didn't think the results would be significant either. And then a few days later, he came back to me and he said, I went to see my skin specialist, and the first thing she said to me was, what have you done to your skin? It looks fantastic. He said, I never told her about the silicone. It was just a comment that she blurted out. He says, send me more silicone. So now I'm making silicone. So what do you do once you have your silicone in hand? Well, besides taking 1, 2, 3 teaspoons a day for the restore your skin, you can also add it to your favorite skin cream. You just take a little skin cream, put a little in your whatever it is you use, take the eyedropper, add a few drops of silicone, mix it all up, and apply it to wherever it is you need to apply it to. But you got to give it time. Silicone is a slow working process. And so 30 days, you might start to see some changes, but ideally you probably need to keep your silicone treatment up for about 90 days to see if it's actually making changes to your skin. What about making silicone with the laser? Silicon is a semiconductor, a metalloid. It means it conducts electricity under only certain conditions. But we can make nanoparticles out of silicon using a laser. So to start the process, you're going to need, if this is your first time watching how to make nanoparticles with the laser, you're going to need a Petri dish. Now this Petri dish I have taped up with what they call Kapton tape. It's a yellow tape, comes on a roll, it's not that expensive. And the reason you need to cover this up with special tape is because the laser is quite bright and will leak out through the Petri dish and could injure your eyes. Please always make sure you wear the safety glasses when using a laser at all times. Now I have a special cover that I 3D printed up to go over this whole thing, so I don't actually need to use my yellow Petri dish. But you'll take your sample. This is a round sample of silicone. I rather like this one because it doesn't displace a lot of water. You can put it in the middle here. Fill the Petri dish with 50 milliliters of fluid and then stick it in the laser. Laser settings right now I'm playing around with. The AI gave me general settings and I've tweaked them high and tweaked them low, and really the AI settings seem to be the best so far for turning silicon into nanoparticles, which is 400 millimeters per minute and 60% power on my laser, which is about 10 watts. I have a video microscope that I use to tell me when I have enough nanoparticles in there, but you can use a laser, a simple green laser pointer, shine it through the liquid and see how much you got there. And when you got a nice strong beam going through it, you're pretty much near 20 parts per million and you can stop the process. Of course, if you want more than 50 milliliters, you're going to have to redo the process over and over again until you get as much of the stuff that you want. Okay, I'm all done with my silicon. Thanks for coming along for the journey, wizards. I'll talk to all of you later.